Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I am unboxing a very special fragrance. I am so happy it arrived in time for me to film today. This is definitely the most expensive perfume I have ever purchased myself, and I'm hoping it is the most luxurious, becomes an instant favorite. We'll have to see because I have never smelled this fragrance, and the fragrance itself is not new, but this is a new special limited edition. So it is from Guerlain. And at this point, you might know which fragrance I'm talking about because we did discuss it in one of my Love It or Leave It videos. And I said, oh, I'm definitely going to purchase this. That was before I saw the price. And I actually thought they've gone crazy. They lost their mind. And I had kind of forgotten about it. I figured, no, I'm not going to go ahead and purchase this fragrance after all. Even though I wanted it, it was on my wish list. I thought it would be really special. But then I got the email. And I started reading about it, and just knowing how special the fragrance is and all of the work they put into it, I changed my mind. I think this is a collector's piece, so I went ahead and I purchased. So this is the beautiful box. I have not even peeked inside. I'm a little bit nervous. Came in this huge protective box filled with bubble wrap, so it was well protected, well insulated. Ooh, okay. That's the top. Here we go. This is a little envelope, probably the receipt. Normally I don't have the patience to sit there and rip the sticker nice and gently, but I wanted to be careful this time around. I'm going to peel back all of the tissue. Oh wow. So they did a really beautiful job putting everything in the box. I did have a coupon code for a special gift with purchase that they had emailed me, so I have this really cute little travel makeup bag, why not? And then they also included a ton of really great deluxe samples in here. And then this is the fragrance. Wow. It looks beautiful already. I'm excited. If you haven't figured out what the fragrance is, I'm going to be very annoying and wait until I unbox it to share with you guys. So first I want to see what samples they threw in. I forgot. Here we have a little Abbé Royale lotion. They also included a sample of the Aqua Allegoria fragrance. Very nice. And it looks like we have some skincare in here. This is the Advanced Illuminating Serum and Orchidée Impériale La Crème. I always like to hold on to those for travel. And then we have two more samples here. This is the Rose Barbar fragrance. Last time I tried Rose Cherie and I thought it was really pretty, but I have not heard of this fragrance or I'm unfamiliar. So I'm excited to test that out. And then this is another little eye cream, the eye and lip contour cream from Guerlain. Came in a very pretty little pouch. And here is the makeup bag. I will say I'm very impressed by the size. I did think it wasn't quite as pretty as the original gift with purchase I had seen, and that's when I received the email, but I wasn't making a purchase at the time, so I couldn't redeem it then. I figured I might as well just try the old coupon code and see if they added anything, and they did. They added this bag, but I do think it's pretty. I think it's really nice for summer. It's kind of natural colors with a little gold stitching in there. So something like this I think would be really pretty to take with you for a beach trip or a summer vacation trip. And it's large enough to fit all of my stuff, which is great. I have so many travel bags, but you can't really have too many, can you? Every once in a while I go through them, but I have a bunch of these that I just save underneath my sink, and I just use them to help organize. I love this size. I really like the little bead detail on the zipper. That is so cute. And this bag is incredibly functional. I love it. And of course, I did place my order directly on Guerlain.com, the US website. I believe that's the only place where you can currently purchase this fragrance. And now we are going to go ahead and unbox. This is the most expensive fragrance I have ever purchased myself, at least to date. It's Cherry Blossom, the Eau de Toilette, which is not a new fragrance, and I have never smelled this before, which seems a little bit crazy, especially now that I sit down to really think about it. The fact that my most expensive fragrance purchase was a blind buy, But a few things to take into consideration. One, I purchased this item as more of an art piece, a collector's item. I'm really trying to be very mindful, very strategic about all of the new fragrances I add to my collection because I'm very happy with what I have. I want to make sure if I'm bringing anything new into the fold that it adds something different. I purchased this to wear, to enjoy, yes, but even if for some unforeseen reason I hated the fragrance, which I highly doubt, I would still be happy I purchased it because it is such a special piece, which we will get to all of the details in a second. But I really like cherry blossom. It's one of those notes that I love, and I find myself constantly kind of searching for cherry blossom fragrances. I thought that Blossom Love from Amouage would be that perfect cherry blossom, and unfortunately it didn't work for me. I know other people really love it. I did not like the way it smelled on my skin, so that was a bit of a bust, and I've kind of found myself still searching out there for the perfect cherry blossom. It's an eau de toilette, it's Guerlain, one of my all-time favorite fragrance houses, so I do feel like this was still a very safe blind buy, all things considered. I'm double checking right now on the Guerlain website. It looks like they are currently still available to add to your shopping bag in case anybody's interested. The fragrance retails for $650, but there are only 2,605 pieces available worldwide. They are numbered. They are made to order. So on the back of the box, you can see it was handwritten out of 2,605 units worldwide. I purchased number 1,865, and I placed my order probably close to 2 weeks ago by now. That is not a lot of units available worldwide, less than 3,000. That is really special, and that's why I think this is truly a collector's piece. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the top of the box. There it goes. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my goodness, what is that? So beautiful. I don't know if this is a travel spray or it looks like this is a little travel atomizer, and then if I want to fill this from the bottle, then I have the little funnel up top. Wow. Just look how special this fragrance bottle is. It's even more beautiful in person than it is in photos. The color is definitely different. The juice in person looks a little bit more like a watermelon pink. In the photos, it looks like a pale kind of lavender pink. This is a lot more bright and fun, but the design is just impeccable. Hands down, one of the most beautiful fragrance bottles in my entire collection. And it does come with a little travel spray with this leather protector. And it's not marked. The protector is, it says Guerlain. But this is just a little mini spray that I guess you can take with you if you're traveling. So that's a really nice touch. And this bottle size is 4.2 fluid ounces, 125 milliliters. And then the only other thing in the box are these little information cards. This is kind of a card of authenticity for Guerlain. And then this is a little pamphlet of information on the creation. It says, Cherry Blossom par Kyoto Creation, Guerlain, Paris. A true ode to the awakening of nature, every year the Japanese tradition of Hanami celebrates the arrival of spring, an invitation to admire the flowers in full bloom. In 2000, Jean-Paul Guerlain composed Cherry Blossom, an homage to the blossoming trees known as sakuras in Japanese. Like a sakura petal, the fresh and floral fragrance tinted with rose blooms through a cherry blossom infused with luminous accents of green tea and jasmine, enhanced by powdery lilac and tangy bergamot notes. In its numbered artist edition for 2022, Guerlain has entrusted the mission of crafting a unique floral adornment for its iconic bee bottle to the designer Kyoko Sugura, surrounded by a community of Japanese embroidery craftswomen, an artistic, poetic, and engaged collaboration at the crossroads of both French and Japanese cultures. In 2012, the Japanese designer founded her own Parisian embroidery studio, Kyoto Creation, where each of her pieces is crafted by hand and interwoven with materials and techniques from each of her two cultures. The tradition of contemplating the sakuras in the moonlight inspired her for the decorative ornament, which draws upon embroidery techniques from haute couture. This masterpiece of refinement reveals delicate, leather-like flowers adorned with beads, taking on shades of gold, white, and black to evoke petals lit up by moonbeams appearing in the night. The dames de table of the Guerlain ateliers dressed the bottle in this precious jewel, tying it with a black satin ribbon and placing on a label depicting the sakura's pattern at its heart. Cherry Blossom 2022, 2,605 pieces available worldwide. And I did read on the website, it says made to order. With the inspiration and the artist in mind, I knew I had to purchase one of these bottles and make it mine. I think it is such an incredible collector's piece, and I really do love the design. It does look like leather with the little beads. I'm afraid to touch it because it looks so beautiful. I love the box, but I feel like I need some way to display this fragrance. I'm going to have to see if I can find something on Amazon, maybe a little protective case or maybe a little cloche for candles, something that will draw attention to its beauty and ensure that I don't accidentally drop it or knock it over. Because it really is special. I mean, so much attention to detail went into this fragrance. And I think even if it isn't a limited edition piece, Guerlain always does such a beautiful job. I was a bit nervous looking at the bottle. I wasn't sure how to open it or how to go about getting the fragrance out. But this little top right here, you just give it a light twist, kind of loosens up, and then it pops right out pretty easily. So if you do end up purchasing this fragrance, which I'm sure won't be many of you, but if you do, just know that you have to be extremely careful because then the top is pretty wide open there. So you want to kind of press that down. So that makes sense. That's why we have the little funnel in here. So the only spray is this little travel spray, the atomizer, which is a little bit disappointing just because I would like to spray this, but I guess maybe it's better. Because this is a decorative art piece, you don't want to necessarily be grabbing this all the time to spray all over the place. And I'll be able to hold on to this forever. So once I do go through the juice, if I do use all of this fragrance up, I kind of like that I could stick dried flowers in here. I could use it as a little vase if I wanted to. I mean, I think it looks beautiful on its own. You don't need to put anything else in it, but I could fill it with fragrance. I could put flowers in it. I could use it so many different ways. I wouldn't have to mess around with pliers to try to screw off the little twisty cap. It's kind of already a beautiful decorative jar. Just happens to have really incredible fragrance inside. So I'm going to put this down and I will smell the fragrance for the first time by spraying the atomizer, since that's really the only way I'm going to be wearing the fragrance anyway. Just to play devil's advocate and be a little nitpicky, after all, I did purchase this myself, so I spent over $650. I get to nitpick. I wish this had some sort of cherry blossom design or maybe little gold bees. Something, give me something decorative, because I purchased the fragrance because I love this. This bottle is incredible. I mean, it's beautiful. It looks so delicate and pristine. I don't even want to touch it. I don't even want to look at it. It's so beautiful. But then this is going to be what I grab whenever I go to wear the fragrance. And this just seems very bland to me, considering it is such a special fragrance. I guess it's very classy and chic. I mean, it's not decorative, but it looks very beautiful. It's on brand. I read a lot of information about the fragrance, so I want to quickly return to the notes just so we can go over those again. So it's fresh, floral. Of course, you get the cherry blossom infused by accents of green tea, jasmine, powdery lilac, and tangy bergamot. All of that sounds amazing. It sounds very spring summer. I'm hoping this will be the most beautiful cherry blossom fragrance I have ever smelled in my entire life. And then the search will be over. Oh, it's really pretty. It's pretty strong. I don't even have to smell my arm. Wow. It's amazing. It really is gorgeous. Oh, wow. I love that green tea. It's really apparent. It's kind of everything described in the notes. The key notes that they pinpointed, that's truly what I'm smelling. It is slightly powdery, not much. I get cherry blossom and green tea. And then there is a slightly juicy zestiness. It's really not sharp or bitter, but I can get that fresh citrusy bergamot note as well, which just makes it so delicious, a little bit mouth-watering. Kind of perfect for spring. You know what I love about it too is that it's floral and it's a little bit fruity, but it's not overly sweet. And I don't feel like I'm getting smacked over the head with a bouquet of flowers. It's really, really nice. It's so elegant. I'm so happy. I knew it would be good. I knew I wouldn't dislike it, but there was maybe a slight fear in the back of my mind. What if I don't really like it enough to want to wear it? But that is not the case at all. And it was a very small doubt, teeny tiny, minuscule really, because I generally love Guerlain fragrances. So after reading about it, I knew it couldn't be bad. But this is really good. This is everyday signature scent, kind of clean, fresh out of the shower, spritz it on and go anywhere type of perfume. I feel like my only complaint that I will have about it is that I'll want it to be stronger and last even longer. Although maybe not. Just because it's an eau de toilette doesn't necessarily mean it's going to disappear. Because I love what I'm smelling. I want this to last and maybe even be more intense. It's kind of perfect. It is the perfect cherry blossom perfume. Everything I could have hoped for. And more. Because I didn't expect the green tea to be so strong. I would almost say the green tea note is the front runner here. So gorgeous. And I love the inspiration, and I love the design, and the entire story about these handmade, beautiful details. Just really, really incredible. Wow. And there's something a little bit magical about it. Kind of captures that magic of the change of seasons when the flowers first start to bloom. It's that first bloom, that first burst of spring. I love that hearty tea note, and the cherry blossom is really wonderful. But then everything else is kind of light and sparkling and sprightly. It feels like a fairy tale type of perfume, honestly. It's really special. And I'm sure I've said that word 100 times or more already in this review, but that's really just the best way to describe it, is something special. Is it going to be for everybody? No. Do I think everybody needs to rush out and buy this perfume? Absolutely not. But if you are a collector, if you're somebody who looks for those special fragrances, something that only comes around every once in a while, I think this is worth picking up. Now, it's worth noting that it looks like they come out with a new design for this fragrance every year around this time. So maybe you can't get your hands on this bottle, but maybe next year they'll do the same thing. Looks like they did it last year, and I think the year before maybe, but they have done a similar design. It doesn't look exactly the same, but I actually think the one last year is a little bit prettier. I don't know. It's hard to compare. Both of them are really beautiful. This is the first time that it was ever on my radar. I'm very happy with the bottle that I purchased, but if it is something that they do every single year around this time, if you skip it this year or if you miss it, it's not like it will never happen again. I wish you could always get your hands on cherry blossom. It's such a beautiful fragrance. That's what I was looking up to see if you could just purchase just a normal bottle. I don't think you can. Now, Guerlain does have other cherry fragrances. Looks like they have another one that's available at Sephora. This is one of the Aqua Allegoria fragrances, Flora Cherisia. Keynotes include nashi note, cherry blossom, white musk. So not the same fragrance, but if you're looking for something with cherry blossom, you just like a light cherry blossom fragrance, that might be worth checking out. I've never smelled that. I think it's safe to say my hunt for the perfect cherry blossom fragrance is officially over with cherry blossom. It is so beautiful. I love the bottle. I love the juice, everything about it. It adds something unique to my collection, and I've kind of checked a box. It was a category that was missing. I always felt like I wanted a cherry blossom fragrance and I could never find one that I really loved. Now that I've added this cherry blossom to my collection, that area is now complete. I think this is signature scent worthy. It's one of the best spring summer fragrances, going to be one of the best fragrances that I purchased in 2022, easily one of the prettiest floral fragrances in my collection. So it is best of the best in a lot of different categories. It is a standout fragrance for sure, and certainly something that collectors will appreciate. So that completes today's unboxing. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. If you have tried this fragrance, if you're familiar with cherry blossom, drop me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. We will keep the conversation going there. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be listed down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.